So we're down here along the ocean. Bug splattered window there. We got to drive down the beach a couple miles to get to where the river enters the ocean. Not super excited about this. When I initially reconned this out, I thought that the river was much closer, but I just got through walking a bunch of this and it's a bit. So we're just going to bomb down here for a little bit. So we've arrived at the mouth of the Kasilof River. Got my truck set up to sleep in here. Gonna make some food. We're supposed to be able to start in about an hour when the tide starts coming in, so we're gonna wait for that time. We got about an hour until it's fishing time. So that's enough time to eat here. And it looks like I used this the last time for coffee and it's still got coffee grounds and I didn't wash it. Usually whenever I go home, I always get everything washed up. So I've got 2 or 3 things going on here. One, I got my cooler test going on. I had them in my truck and I moved both the coolers to the front of my boat and I'll end up tarping that up in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do a Yeti. This is a Yeti cooler, and this is a cooler I've had for probably 10 or 15 years. Probably the cheapest cooler that you could ever find, a Coleman cooler. Not that Coleman's cheap, but when I bought this, it was a cheap cooler. And so I'm going to try to put about the same amount of ice in each of these. Each one has 2 beverages in them. And then over the course of time, I'll probably drain the water out, or we'll try to figure out which one did better. One would hope this one does better, but I'm kind of curious about it. So get some ice in there. And coolers generally keep things colder if you can fill them all the way up with ice, but I want to make sure I've got the same amount of ice in both of them. So looks like there's about a half a gallon of ice left at the bottom of that one. Okay, so about the same amount of ice in both those coolers. And one would think this is supposed to chill so well, so that you would think this is going to win. This one has a lot of airspace in it, and so this is going to melt faster too. So just out of the gate, in terms of airspace here, this one has the advantage. They were both kept in the same place up until now. Neither of them were cold starting this. I'm going to try to keep them in the exact same place for now. I'm just going to put them in the back of my truck. We're getting ready to head down and go dip netting, and so hopefully we're going to get some fish. So we're going to need some ice, and so this is when the fish go in a bigger cooler, then I'll be able to take ice out of these coolers and dump it on top of the fish to keep them cold. So that's the plan. So for right now, I got my dirt bag camp set up here, and I got both those coolers stored in the back of the truck. We're going to get on the road here quickly, and then of course we got this fishing thing going on. And initially I decided to do this when I was out hiking. I was out in the middle of a pretty significant hike with Lily, and it popped in my head, hey, I should check the tides and check everything and maybe make a run on this. So I'll show you that right now. Good morning and welcome to Raised in Alaska. We're sitting on top of Peak 3, and you know, when you're hiking, I've been hiking a couple hours now, when you're hiking you have a little bit of time to think about things. And so on the way up I decided I'm going to check the tide table and see when the tides are coming, and the tides are favorable right now at 3 o'clock in the morning to tomorrow morning, I guess, late tonight, tomorrow morning, depending on how you want to look at it, down on the Kasilof River for dip netting. And so I'm going to call Fish and Game when I get down from here and find out if they have a commercial fishing opener. If they have a commercial fishing opener, then not a lot of fish make it into the river. And so I want to make sure that it's favorable for dip netting. And I think if it is, I think I'm going to head down to the Kasilof River and do some dip netting. That should be a really cool adventure. And so hopefully that works out. We'll see. I got my emergency meal kit here, and tonight we're going to have savory stroganoff, which I had last year and I thought it was pretty good. There's about 2 servings in here, so I'm going to end up kind of using 1 serving of it, so I have to figure out a way to get half the noodles and about half the spices out, which is somewhat tricky. Okay, that's just right. All right, and we'll let that sit for a little bit. So this should be done. It's been soaking for about 10 minutes, and you can see it's thicker now.
This will get it. I'm no rope. I'm going with the.
I'd say it's okay.
It's really tight. It will work.
Okay, this is all I'm going to get. We're down here. It's just about low tide right now. About 10 o'clock at night. Gorgeous sunset. Go. I'll tell you about these waders for a second. I've had the same waders for probably 10 years, and every year at the end of the year they leak, and I think I'm going to get new ones, and I never do. And so at the end of last year I bought new waders, put them away, and then just when I was digging out stuff I found these waders. My father-in-law, who used to do a lot of hunting and fishing in Alaska, a lot of fishing actually, he had an airplane hangar full of different things, and he told me all the fishing stuff in there, you can have it. And so I was digging through there and I found these waders, and so I thought, well, I'll try those on. I tried them on and standing in the hangar, and they fit perfect, so I took them out and I've been using them this year so far, and they're like brand new. And so I'm going to call it Found It in the Hangar. And so we're going to head down here in a minute and see how it goes. So that's a dip net. We're going to take this big giant butterfly net down, stick it in the water, and see if we can get some salmon to swim in it. Real soft, but down here you can see where the water is out there, and here the tide will come up where you can see where it was wet before, so the tide's going to come up that much. I got a couple people staying next to me. George and Martha, like the first president of the United States, older couple. I kind of helped them get down here a little bit, and we left their nets down here, so I'm going to snag their nets up and take down to them. We're just kind of waiting for the tide to start coming in now. Probably another 15 or 20 minutes before it starts rolling in. I tell you, I about got stuck in the sand up there coming down. I thought, oh, that's the way everybody goes. And boy, I was bunny hopping and giving it gas. I didn't think I was going to make it. And I had it in 4-wheel drive already, but I got lucky and made it through. There's the guy up here that's not so fortunate though. I don't see him now, but he's stuck. All right, so we're gonna grab these nets and take down to George and Martha. And there's a buoy or something down here that you have to be inland from, and I think we're sitting pretty much right on the buoy. Might be just a hair up from us, but we're about as close as you can get. And realistically, the first person, I think, if nobody's in front of you, I think you stand a better chance than if there's 100 people in front of you. And so it'll be nice to be right on a marker. Then again, I've never done this, stepped out of a boat, and that's a totally different animal. And so I'll learn a lot. In fact, George and Martha have been coming down 20 years, and they were just giving me a couple of pointers. Super nice people. I already appreciate their help. Okay, so There we go, that's it. I'm kind of really looking forward to the tide going the other way. The water's going this way, and so it's taking the net that way, but the fish are going the opposite direction, so they're going to have to swim into the net and get gilled up or something, I guess. I don't really understand how that works. I think when the tide really starts rolling in, it's going to be going that way, and it'll pull the net that way, and so you'll actually get fish caught in your net. I think maybe I'm just out here prematurely. But I'll tell you, this morning's hike was an awesome hike. I'll show you some vistas as we go through here. In fact, I'll show you the first vista right now, and then as we stand out here in boredom and I'm thinking about the hike, I'll share some other vistas along the way. So we're on the spine in between Peak 2 and Peak 3. There's Peak 3. We're gonna have to go across that snowfield. You can see a trail there. Beautiful night. Got some buddies hanging out. I guess I'm just standing here straining water. Nothing yet. See a seal out there halfway across. See his head sticking up there. There's 4 guys on that side. I'm the only one on this side so far, so probably too early, obviously, because if it was the right time, then everybody would be out, is my guess. But that's okay. I'm going to stand out here and strain some water. There's the first one of the day. And you have to cut their tails.
Got the skunk off.
I was waiting for the water to turn the other way so they'd be able to swim into your net. Does it turn the other way?
What's that? Oh, it will.
Oh, okay.
It should. You want? Look at the boat.
Probably about 11:30 at night right now. Still just got 1 fish. Guy down below me, a couple people just got a fish. Still kind of slow.
Keep going, bud. Keep going, man. Keep bringing it.
Guy down in the point's got one. It saddens me. We have to go all the way down that trail just to climb back up to where we were so we can reach the peak. It's quite a descent. So that was Martha down in the corner. Remember I was talking about George and Martha earlier. George just went to help her. She got one down there. She was fishing kind of shallow, so I've backed off a little bit. You can see the top of my net sticking out of the water there. That guy's standing on his net, but she wasn't in very deep, so I'm gonna try this out and see what happens. Well, the current has slowed down a lot. It's not dragging on my net so hard. George was telling me earlier that it'll actually switch and be going upriver. And so I kind of sort of think you stand the best chance, because right now the net is going this way and the fish have to swim into it, get their gills caught in it. When it's going the other way, and they'll swim into it, and I think you stand a better chance. Down there, I'm gonna go shallower yet. She's sitting there with half of her net out of the water. All right, I guess it got away. That's a bummer. Nice job though. So yeah, we're just gonna shallow up here and see what happens. So now I got probably a foot of my net out of the water. That is a 50-inch net. Go across there and up to the summit. Guy's got one right there.
Yeah.
It's starting to pick up, hopefully. Well, I'm feeling kind of lonely now all of a sudden. That guy's gotten 2. Martha's got 2.
Well, the tide's starting to come in, the water's starting to rise. This probably went up 2 feet at least. And I notice everybody else is fishing really deep now, except for the lady on the point. I just went and got another jacket, just got back. Looks like George has got one there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes,
nice.
yeah, sure.
Well done, George.
That's peak 2. That's looking across the saddle. There's the trail. Sort of basically on the final assault, I guess. I'm sure there'll be false summits along the way. Yep.
Wow, that's got a big seal bite in him. We'll fillet that out though, that's okay.
So there's the trail. That seems really sketchy. I mean, it is frickin' steep here. So what I'm gonna try to do, I think, is go down there where you can see the ground, bare ground, and see if I can scoot across that back to bare ground and scoot across over there. Because if a guy starts sliding on this, I don't know that you could stop. I'm not very interested in that.
Oh, George had one, must have got away. Bummer. That's about how deep I was a minute ago. And I just barely got mine when he got his, so maybe they're starting to pick up here.
Somewhere.
It's been slow for. Oh, I don't know. No fishy fish, it looks like. Bummers.
So here's the plan. Make it to that rock, to that rock, to that piece of ground, and that piece of ground. This is probably only from here to here is probably about 14 feet. And if I start sliding, I don't think you have too far to go if you can get out of that trough.
Just got one down there. Oh, no. Darn. So it's about 12:30. We've been fishing about 2.5 hours. Got 2 fish so far. Oh, it looks like George has got one. Oh, got away, bummer. So we're right at slack tide. The tide really isn't going in or out right now, so their nets are just sitting there. So they gotta be coming up at a good head of steam to get stuck. I've had a couple bump mine with no success. I think sunrise is like 4 a.m. and so we'll see. It's probably gonna get dark-ish, but not pitch black is my guess tonight.
Okay, so we made it across that one. Now I think we'll just go straight up there. See if we can stay out of the snow.
There's George. He's got one in there, nice. All right, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning now. Still just have 2 fish. Seems like it's really slowed down. We're still at slack tide. The tide has not, it's still rising, but there's pretty much no current right now.
So we're standing on the summit of Peak 3. And there you can see Peak 2, and then the last peak you can see is Flat Top.
Okay, it's about 1:30 in the morning. Nobody's caught a fish for probably an hour and a half. For a bit of time. So I think I'm gonna call it a day and help George and Martha get all their stuff up as well. Well, that was pretty fun. I've only got 2 fish so far, but it was still fun, and I met some really nice people. I think what we're going to do is spend the night here tonight. It's 2 o'clock in the morning now, and you can see, well, it looks darker than it is. When I was out there, you could still kind of see, but it looks dark. So we'll go back out and fish tomorrow about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, somewhere around that zone. So I'll get a good night's sleep, get up. I took my 2 fish and I put them in my cooler. Not one of the 2 coolers to do the experiment with. Don't get excited. But I put them in my cooler, my other cooler, tonight, and then tomorrow I'll go and clean them up and fillet them out, put them in plastic bags and put them back in that cooler. We'll fish here tomorrow until probably 6 o'clock or so. I'm going to turn in for the night here. Just a few minutes. I'm going to just kick back for a couple minutes and then take a little nappy nap. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I got my dirt baggery over here. I'm gonna have a little breakfast here. We'll let that sit there and soak for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to wash my spoon off here. This is nothing but the finest hygiene I'm going to find anywhere. Perfection. I generally try to put one Ziploc bag in my meal things so that I can put the partially used ones in there and then it'll spill all over everywhere. It kind of keeps them neat and tidy. Well, I'm going to sit back here, enjoy breakfast, and then probably try to sleep a little bit more. I think I went to bed at, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning or something, and then I managed not to wake up until probably 7, so that's still 7 hours of sleep. But I have 5-6 hours until the tide rises up enough that we can dip again, so I got lots of time to waste. Probably walk up and down the beach a little bit, maybe check out what's happening. There's a guy that's been stuck up the way for, well, he got stuck last night. Doug got someone to pull on him, didn't get out. This morning I woke up to a guy in a full-size pickup truck with the engine just screaming, hooked up to him, trying to pull him out. Didn't make it, but I was pretty impressed with the effort. But he did make it part way, and I think he's digging again. Maybe we'll take a picture of that, or a little video when we go by. I don't want to, that's kind of bad juju to, hey buddy, mind if I videotape your horror show here? But maybe we'll try to get a quick little video when he's not looking, just to see how bad he is over there. He had initially got stuck coming in and got someone to pull him out, and then he headed down the beach and got stuck again, but that time he's stuck bad. I'm gonna finish eating breakfast, and then we'll see what this day holds. It should be fun. About time to do battle here. Down there.
All right. Thank you. We'll be there. Take your time.
You betcha. So you can see the tide's pretty low. We did, there's still no boats in here, so they're commercial fishing right now. We called the hotline and they said yesterday only 3,000 fish came through, which is super sad because there have been 7,000 coming through per day before. That's why it was so slow last night. And clearly the fishing boats are still out, so they're commercial fishing now. And so it's not going to be probably smoking hot right now either, but we're down here. We're going to go. If I can pick up another couple, that'd make 4. That'd be okay. Okay, so here's my plan right now. You can see there's a rock right there, and behind a rock there's always an eddy, and the fish know that, so I'm hoping they'll come up to that little eddy for a little break. Bam, there's my net. Been here about 30 seconds. Nothing yet. Quite a few more people in here today than yesterday. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and so it's a more hospitable time for folks, I think. So we'll see how it goes. This guy's got milk jugs on theirs. Interesting. So this is my new plan. I'm in about 3 feet of water. Got a pretty stiff current going out right now, and so I'm just holding my net right here. I saw a guy doing that last night, and it seemed like he had success. And if you look down the bank here, there are a couple people that are doing the same thing. You don't have to fight the current so much this way because it's easier just to hold it. So we'll see. I don't think there's a lot of fish coming anyway. Lots of people, no fish. Well, there's the first one of the day right there. Well, if those guys aren't getting very much and they're covering a ton of water, it gives the guy pause. Oh, he's got one there. Nice. There we are, just straining water. Just about a high tide. Well, that was a battle today. We picked up 3 today, had 2 from yesterday, so I have a total of 5 fish. There's still some ice in there, so those fish are getting cold. And so I think what I'm going to do is pack up my stuff, head to a different spot, and I'll process fish there and clean up all my stuff and kind of get ready for hopefully another adventure, so we'll see how that goes. So we'll take a look at this road on the way out. It was a little sketchy coming in, and so we'll take a look at it on the way out. Oh, he's not going to make it. Oh, that might be it.
Thank you so much. I don't mean to bother you. No problem.
Yep, he's got the reverse going. Don't turn. Uh-oh, don't go forward. No. Well, maybe. Oh, here we go. It's like watching American Ninja Warrior. Come on. You can't do it. Oh, you're going. Oh, what did you stop for? You were at least going forward. Well, okay. Looks like reverse is the way. I'd reverse all the way back to the...
Yeah, to the hard ground.
Yep.
Oh, he's got it. Come on.
Yep.
You can do it.
And we're almost out. Okay.
A little backwards again. Get another run at it here.
Nice running start at it again. Yeah, there you go. Nope. I would have thought nope, he's going to go that far back. That was silly. Come on. Now, come on. Yep, keep it going. You got this. Oh. It's really must be really deep there.
Okay, we're here at the Kasilof River. I was just wondering.
Wow, reverse works pretty good.
Yep.
Fishing today?
I do not know if they are. They are
5, so I might just keep going.
Thank you. It's getting there. Hey, Brian. Just be nice to him. Hey, Brian. This is Martha. We're down at the Kasilof. Could you give us the heads up, man? I want the straight skin.
Man, I just keep going backwards there.
That's
Just
the way
stay
to
on
go,
it.
Yeah. Until you get to the hard stuff. Why beat the heck out of your car?
I-
Stop answering this phone.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work. No, that's not gonna work out so well.
Yeah, they're still going downhill though. So.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, yeah. Victory!
Yes.
That's what victory smells like right there.
Front.
All right, so we're gonna take off out of the sand dunes here, and I about got stuck on the way in. In fact, I thought I was gonna get stuck. And I've seen 2 or 3 people, other people get stuck, but it's been in worse places further down. We're just gonna basically go back the way we came, so it should be okay, but we'll take a look at it a little bit on the way out. All right. You can see a lot of sand dunes in front of us, and it's sandy on the way we're going to go out. A couple things, we're already in 4-wheel drive, and we're going to work to keep momentum on our side. Okay, here we go. You can see it's soft right there. Momentum there. I think that's the worst of it. There's one other place up here that seems like it's kind of softish, but anywhere it looks like there's loose sand, we're just going to hit it with a little speed and try to rock through it. Oh, that looks soft. Holy smokes. The one truck that got stuck last night and got pulled out and then got stuck again, I noticed he was still stuck on the way out. I meant to take some pictures of him, but I hate to, you know, rub salt in somebody's wounds. But he's still there. I'm sure they'll figure out a way to get it out or have to bring a wrecker with the winch in. All right, that is the, well, I don't want to say main road. It turns to gravel here, but we're out of the sand pit. And life should be good from here on out. Here we go.
So this is a new little gizmo I just got. It's got a little funnel and you put your bag on it like this. What it's supposed to do is keep the seal of the bag from getting any slime on it. And so you scoot it up like that, drop your fish in the funnel. I'm going to put 2 tails in each one of these. And, oh, look at that. I already like this thing. This is a big bag here, and this is going to be stuff for canning and smoking. Probably just going to put them all in here. Hopefully they all fit. We'll see. There's a pink salmon. You can tell the color of its flesh is significantly different. We'll just can him up.
One of the nice things about this vacuum packer is you can take these hard plastic plates in here that you can take out to make more room so you can package things that are bigger, deeper. One of the things you have to do is make sure that there's no creases in this seam, or else it'll leak air. And that's sucking the air out right there. So right now there's 99.2% of the air is out of there. It should go over, I think it's 99.7. Oh, 99.8.
and now it's holding it at 99.8% air out of there. Now it's sealing it. And it puts air back into the chamber. And now there's no air. Now there's air back in everything. A minute ago there was no air in there. So when you look at that, those fish heads, there's no air in there. I've had these coolers out for 48 hours about with ice in them. We looked at this at the very beginning of this video. I was real curious if Yeti was that significantly better than El Cheapo. And I really thought it was going to be close. But just in moving the coolers, I haven't opened them yet. Well, I have taken one beverage out of this one at all, but I haven't opened them today. But just by shaking them and moving them, I already know what the winner was. I was initially planning that we would drain the water out and measure the water and then kind of measure the ice the best we could, but it's not going to be that complicated. And so just to shake these, just so you hear the noise. Still got ice, obviously. Smidgy of ice, but let's open them up and take a look. So you can see that's a good slurry of cold water. And this one here, it looks like I need to clean it, but a few ice chunks and a beverage. I wonder if that's, I'm not going to take temperature of them, but get a fresh hand here. This is very scientific, you know. I would say they're pretty much exactly the same temperature. This one might be a hair warmer, but not noticeable. But the Yeti did hold ice significantly better. I was kind of sort of hoping for a different result just because I think they're exorbitantly expensive and I was hoping that maybe they weren't worth the money. But when we started out, remember, this one had a lot more space, and so you couldn't fill it all the way up with ice, which most certainly is the determining factor. This probably had as much airspace as just ice space, but I don't think that really explains the difference in the two. So I'm going to say Yeti wins, as much as I really kind of was hoping for a different result. Thanks for tuning in today. We always appreciate your support and always appreciate you peeking in to see what we're doing. And if you made it to the very end for the cooler challenge, thanks for making it all the way to the end. So we'll see you on the river.